Going live.
Going live.
Going live. You're live.
You're live, baby. What
It's
is going
alive.
on? Internet, welcome to Only Cops. I'm verifying that we are live currently. Yes, I'm seeing a commercial, which makes me believe I'm live. What is going on, Brian Porter?
I don't watch commercials.
Because I don't watch commercials. But anyways, go ahead and let us know if you have any interruption in the stream. We did set up an entire backup in the off chance that we need it. We're trying to provide the best possible viewing quality for you guys. I want to give a big special thank you to our Patreon group. Our Patreon group has been really awesome in supporting us in the streams, regardless of all the kind of screwiness that's happening with the internet. I want to thank you guys also for making this type of content monetizable because YouTube and stuff like that doesn't like watching the stuff that we tend to talk about.
Speaking of that, did you guys see the new warnings?
No.
Did you see the, like, when you pulled up these videos, did you see the warning on it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yikes.
So anyways, go ahead and put a like if you're currently watching. Drop a like on the video so more people get proliferated to it. You can also stream it on TVs and things like that as long as you don't have kiddos around. We are going to be doing things that are of an adult and potentially triggering nature. You are getting forewarned that we are going to see things that involve violence. That is an aspect of law enforcement. And so we're doing this to try to educate people. There is my educational disclaimer to YouTube. We are both former police officers, Bill and I, and
Yes.
producer Juan is here to make sure that we don't get too far off the rails here. He's our civilian oversight board.
He's exactly. That's perfect. He's the civilian
COPOSHA.
oversight board. I
Yeah,
love
he's
that.
COPOSHA.
Yeah.
So anyways,
You need a hat
I
that
wanna-
says COPOSHA.
I do need a hat. I did have the admin hat somewhere. I need one to say, I just need one that says COPA or whatever it is.
Brian
Civilian
Porter,
oversight
it is
something or other.
good to see you. Sergeant George, or St. George as he's known here. It is also good to see you. He's going to throw his axe on Attaboy in the comments.
I'm egging him
Sure.
on, so it's fine.
Alfredo, it is also good to see you. I appreciate everyone that's coming out.
Alfredo
to
with the
this.
sauce.
As my disclaimer here, because I have to do it, because my job is to jingle the change jar. Our Patreon is only $1 a month. That gives you access to our Discord.
As little as $1 a month.
Help me feed my child.
Yeah, that gets you access to the Discord. The Discord is how we end up deciding which videos we're going to watch. It also decides if, especially when we play on Tactical Tuesday, when we can involve people on that. We also potentially have some cool giveaways that we're discussing on doing with some cool tactical gear and things of that nature. And you get 24. I randomly will pop on there and I'll play. I've been playing MechWarrior 5 with
Like a
Cheesy
loser.
Waffle. Which has been a blast. So, anyways, I want to thank everybody that's part of that.
Hey, Pamela just monetized our stream.
My favorite horse breeder, horse person here, Miss Pamela, who is thank
Horse
you for your super
owner.
chat.
She's a horse owner.
Owner?
There it is.
There we go.
So,
My
anyways,
favorite centaur.
my favorite centaur. Anyways,
Dude, what's
thank
going
you.
on here?
Equine
Thank you for
enthusiast.
Yeah.
That reminds me,
Thank
we need
you.
to send Pamela a patch.
We do need to send
With
Pamela
a horse
back.
on it?
Pamela, I'm trying to think if we'll make a horse. Pamela, if there's a way, and I wonder if we can facilitate.
Well, she's part of our Discord, so I think the
Drop,
shipping address should be in there. But if not,
drop
send us a
her
message.
email. Can you drop an email
Or
here for her
Instagram.
to email? Or Instagram, one of the two. Give us your information, Miss Pamela. We'll verify that it is us that's receiving it, so we'll make sure you don't send it off or whatever.
We'll send you some swag.
The safe word will be horse. So anyways, I want to thank you for monetizing the unmonetizable stream that is our Thursday BODYCAM breakdown, and we're going to try to get educational with it.
Don't
Real
read
Ness,
that.
It is also good to see you. I'm
Don't
gonna do my
read
best not to.
Let the chat read it on their own. We are not jumping into that today. It's too fresh.
Anyways, we will go ahead and start with the Bill. It is all yours. You were the
But
captain
just
of
so
the ship
Real
now.
Ness knows, I agree with him. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
Moving on.
Yes. Realness, you get it.
So, Josh, I just want you to take a look at this and see if this reminds you of anything that we might have dealt with in the past. Because when I saw this, I was like, huh, is this? Oh, this isn't our old agency. Sure looks like it.
Does his name start with an E?
Maybe. I don't know. Not really sure.
It came to me instantly. The NYPD is the only thing that convinced me it wasn't him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just preparing for his post-cop career as a plumber, okay?
Right. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Mhm.
He's got the tool belt on and everything.
Regardless of your shape and
great.
size, uniforms are designed to fit you. You actually get fitted for your belt. There's multiple times I had to change the size of my belt, both when I lost weight and gained weight. Both happened in the years that we were on patrol. Adjust your equipment because just like when somebody that's improperly holstering a pistol on their waistband decides to run and his pants fall because he's done nothing, that can happen to you, and that would be really embarrassing. That also being said, just from a educational standpoint, that's not a great place to approach a car. I am always going to be team behind the B pillar. The B pillar is the one that's right there in the center.
Well,
between the
when you
front and
take
back
up
doors.
the whole window because you couldn't put down the donut, I mean, you're not really going to hide behind any car pillars. Okay?
Either way,
So,
I think it's a good
also,
idea.
his shoes are untied. His boots are untied. Yeah.
He
yeah.
just slapped it together. I don't know.
They sure are.
I don't know what's going on here. He just got done with admin. Just got done with him, and so
That
he's
used to be
coming up
like
and
one of
doing
the
it.
finest police departments in the country, and
They
this
did.
is
They did.
this is where they're at. So
What was
Anyways.
that movie? Shoot, it was Doofy was his name. Scary movie.
scary movie.
Where they
Yeah.
had Officer Doofy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right there.
And some aspect of this,
Wow,
I'm
he
sure,
broke the
is-
shop vac, I bet.
So anyways, some part of that is, like I said, probably some level of
Anyways.
mental health. Take care of yourself. You're gonna go do the job. There's people depending on you to be able to do the job. Just I don't know. Take care of yourself.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, that explains.
What? That explains that. Got it. Yikes. Okay, so quick backstory. This was in Lodi, traffic stop back in 2017. Passenger pulls a gun on officers and,
Check out that Budweiser can.
bad things happen. So
What?
I love it.
You're sick?
here's your warning. Someone's gonna get attacked
see your
with
hands.
a
Let
firearm.
me see your hands right now. Let me see your hands right now.
He also sounds drunk.
Listen, there is a hey,
Given the Budweiser.
Yeah.
And his
I mean,
voice.
let me see your hands.
I don't know how you get drunk off Budweiser, but
Get them coming, code 3.
You need like 13
Look at him.
of them.
Let me
Also,
see
shout
your
out to the
hands
mic
right
loop.
now.
Hell
He had
yeah.
he had a handpiece.
Shot fired.
Okay, we
I'll
get
do
it. So
At least the officer recognized that he was in
yeah, I was
danger.
gonna say
I think shout
Good
out to
on
him
him.
for that. Yeah. Recognizing the threats to job number one, because they put you ahead on the OODA loop. And the OODA loop, for those of you that are unaware, it's when you observe something that you need, that this stimuli, your brain has to process what that stimuli is. Then you have to decide on what to react to that stimuli, and then you actually physically have to do it. And there's a pretty, you'd be shocked at how much time goes by. And again, as we're watching this, we get to watch this from the comfort of our chairs. But the quicker you can recognize stuff, the quicker you can decide on it. And so recognizing that the person's intoxicated, he said, I'm sick in the head, or I'm sick, or I'm whatever, and starts reaching around for stuff in the car. Hey, I might be in danger. The officer, before a gun got pointed at him, came out of the holster and went ahead and addressed the threat as it was. It's an unknown threat, and I'm getting both furtive movements and verbal confirmation that this guy's not probably wanting to cooperate with what's going on. Both officers recognized this, tried to move to a place where they were going to handle that gunfight a lot better than just an open doorway. Shout out to those guys for, I mean, I think it's unfortunate that the subject decided to go and get in a gunfight with cops, but that's, the officers gave him space to make a different decision from as safe a place as they could. They can't leave him there for whatever the investigation was, but that's the unfortunate reality of the job. Shout out to them.
so. This one's just embarrassing.
Sergeant George just keeps, he knows me too well.
You've shared your hatred for that body cam
that
manufacturer.
manufacturer.
Look at those ninja moves, dude.
Dude,
Bro.
he's dancing.
Oh shit!
Look at him go.
Oh, don't say that no more.
That's really the only reason I put this video in.
I will say this. As someone that watches the Dallas Cowboys defense get the most sacks in the NFL, that's exactly what it looks like. Nice swim moves, nice whatever. I'm impressed. That's called get good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But also,
that guy did ballet. He got those spin moves right down. And
yeah,
there it is.
it did look like a dance move.
That's what football players do it.
Called a Shanae turn. Thank you.
Yeah, you would know.
It's a Shanae turn.
Yeah,
Juan's out here trying to get us canceled.
wouldn't be the first time.
That's true.
No, Josh got us canceled last time. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
Who was on stream?
Not
it
me.
Was you.
Was
What,
it just
me?
Me.
No,
Not
you
me.
were
It was just
there.
you. It was just you.
No.
It was you twice.
Play it black.
Wearing a hairpiece that looked like me. That's what it was.
Yeah, well.
I just duplicated the screen.
That's right. It was a deep fake of me.
We'll keep going. I think it was the clip you pulled too.
Well, yeah, I wanted to make you mad.
This is compliance.
Yeah,
This is as much. I've gotten way less than this.
dude.
This is a poor attempt at a straight arm bar takedown. This is a backup officer doing that. This is
grabbing his handcuffs before he's got anybody.
Yep. This is not a compliant
Under
person. This
control.
is not a handcuffing position.
Oh, look, he's back to his feet.
Definitely.
Oh,
Yeah,
grab the
you should
neck.
grab his throat. Yeah, good idea.
Well, at least we know this. So the taser wouldn't have worked because he's wearing a sweater. But
An Italian sweater.
Wow.
yeah.
Well, to be fair, if you
he grew his own.
if you tase him here, you're likely gonna get in
Yeah,
trouble.
you can get him. You can get him like
Yeah.
here, or you can get him maybe in the
I mean,
back.
When he sat down, what more compliance do you want?
Yeah,
too?
yeah,
Like,
right.
that's he's not
Well, they were
running.
too busy trying to figure out how to put
Yeah.
their tasers away.
Yeah.
He even gave him the first hand. And now going for the straight arm bar takedown is not a bad thing, but you have to like fully commit. You can't half do
Yeah.
a straight arm bar takedown, which is what happened.
Yeah.
And the other part of that is, and I want to kind of, it's a training thing, right? So the first thing you learn when we were lucky, Bill and I were lucky enough to do a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu mat time. The first thing you learn is if I don't control somebody's torso, I don't control them. Like there's no controlling that person. Even in an arm bar, if you ever watch an arm bar happen, 90% of your effort is to control their torso so that you can get a hold of their hand and then do the whole nine. But like, I really think the straight arm bar takedown would have been maybe good enough had the second officer helped. I know he's there in spirit,
Done
I guess,
anything? Yeah.
but he just didn't really.
But
He's there
also,
for
why do
morale.
two people each need to grab one arm? Take the legs.
Yeah, you can take.
Well,
the
why do
legs
two
and
people
look
both
at
need
it.
to have their tasers out?
Well, they
Why
don't
can't
have
one be
guns.
hands?
They don't have guns.
so-
It is what it is.
Well, I know,
so,
but like,
yeah.
he's a shirtless dude.
Yeah.
With his
That-
hands
Two
out
visible.
tasers are always better than one.
Now
Okay.
that being said, it does look like a damp day outside, and he currently isn't wearing, outside of his personally made sweater, he's not wearing anything from the waist up. I could see that it's difficult to go hands on and to control them, but if you
It's a
have
vegan sweater, Josh.
yeah,
Wow.
if you get what we would call
Ethically
a
sourced.
mount or anything like that, just get on top of that person and make sure they can't get up. If they can we used to call it turtling, but if they could,
Turtle.
if they can get on all fours, they can get up. And so
Turtle.
you got to control their hips.
Oh, I call it a different thing, turtling.
Me too.
Yeah.
Anyways,
we'll move on.
All right, do you want to answer Pamela's question just on stream so that people watching can actually get the benefit of it?
Do you have to?
I'll read it. Hang on, Josh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here.
Here,
Pamela
we have Bill to
said-
read stuff
Sit down
now.
legally.
Pamela
if asked
said,
to.
"Do
No.
you have to sit down legally if asked to for a traffic stop?"
So it's not that you, as long as what the officer is asking you is reasonable, they're not asking you to climb a tree or anything like that, you do have to comply if you are lawfully detained with what an officer's commands are for officer safety. So I can't make you do jumping jacks. I can't make you do whatever. But I can sit there and I can move you and I can make you sit, if that makes any sense, if I have a lawful detention, if it's in the interest of doing an investigation. So I don't want to say that you're like legally required to do it, but by not doing it, you're giving him every reason to articulate interference with an investigation and so on and so forth. So yes, I don't want to say like, because it depends. Like if you're not a subject in the traffic stop, like let's say you're a third party, right? He can't make you sit, but he can control his traffic stop and make you leave. So that it's all in how it's articulated. Because an officer can poorly articulate a traffic stop, tell you to sit down, but he doesn't really have a lawful detention. So like it's generally speaking, I'm going to say yes, but it is oftentimes a little bit more convoluted than that. Christian Halsey, I want to thank you, A, for the sticker is freaking adorable. But B, for the super chat, I really appreciate it.
Christian, we're sending you some swag too. So either message me in Discord or send it to the email that was above. I got to send you some stuff too. You've been providing a hell of a lot of videos for us. So.
I have patches. We have some patches to give out for founding pets.
Yeah,
they're
saving me a lot of time.
Christian basically took my job over for me. And all I have to do is like copy.
I did my job while you were in Michigan. So
copy links. So hey, I still sent Josh stuff on Instagram while I was in Michigan.
That's true. That's true.
I used to get like my 6 o'clock dump on Instagram of a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I didn't want to send it early because I knew you'd forget about it.
And you can't find a restroom. That's turtling. It's a 6 o'clock dump.
What? Oh, I didn't read that one yet. Okay. Anyway,
we talked about the 6 o'clock dump.
Somewhere. It is. I have like a dump every other hour, so technically I have like an 11 o'clock.
You should see him when he eats ice cream.
Yeah,
that's what happened last night. That's what happened last night, dude. I had some. And,
Josh, aren't you lactose intolerant? It's fine. I'll eat the ice cream.
It's fine, dude.
I'll be
it's
fine.
Fine.
I have regrets.
He's like, I can handle hard cheese. Like, okay. You say that.
Hard cheese I can.
Ice cream is not hard cheese, my guy.
Ice cream is not a hard cheese. Especially like that, I don't know, man. I've had some bad experiences. Recent bad experiences with ice cream.
Moving on.
Milk straight from the carton is not a hard cheese, Josh.
Dog.
Thank you, Realness. I got you.
What a nice dog.
How's it going, Brian? Give me a hug.
Sweet tank top, bro.
Dude, no kidding.
He's jacked.
Hey, Ryan. Hey, you're gonna turn up? Yep.
I bet he takes the same supplements that Liver King does.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, this motherfucker pick up.
Just eats raw liver, right? Nothing else.
Hey, Brian! Put it down! No! Put it down! No! Drop the gun, Brian! No!
Even the dog's like, bro, homie.
Brian, put that down now! Brian, you gonna have a fucking problem today.
Get out of there, dog. You're better than this.
Yeah, no kidding.
He has 2 handguns right by his side. You can get additional. Put the axe down, Brian! Get your rifle. Get over here!
Yeah, get your rifle, bro.
Let's get a rifle.
Seriously.
Get on the ground! No!
That's literally what I was just thinking, and then the sergeant actually said it.
Oh!
Okay.
Shit! He's got a shotgun!
Oh.
The first shot was
Him.
Shots fired!
This is a lot of gunfire.
Well, the pellets caught me.
Ooh, shit.
Oh. I'm glad they got some distance.
He must have been in the house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He might have retreated into the house.
Oh, puddle.
So I don't know.
It's a lot of weird stuff, but it's weird that somebody goes from hugging you to being really cool to like that super quick. And imagine had he decided to become homicidal while hugging him. Could you like you really like it, a lot of people think I had this instance happen. I had a family gathering during Christmas, and I was still on duty, and they were in a house within my jurisdiction. And I went and said hi to everybody, but I was still on duty. I had my earpiece in and everything, and they decided in their infinite wisdom that they're going to go do a prayer circle for Josh, and they all put a hand on me, and it immediately stressed me out. And I remember making eye contact with my wife at the time, or my wife now. It's kids. No,
oh God, are you breaking news on stream, Josh? Is that why you were a little bit late?
Yeah,
Yikes.
I guess is that why you were on time?
That's why I was on time.
Yeah.
So anyway, she looks at me and she understands why it made me uncomfortable. It's like, hey, I'm on duty mode, if you want to call it. It's just like a dog that's ready to work. Like you get this very like one track mind where you've made weird boundaries that you normally wouldn't have before. And a lot of people might look at that as officers being standoffish. And I was like, no, this is the reality of your situation when interacting with people. I hug people. I grew up here in the South. We're very friendly. The second I was on duty, I didn't do any of that. I didn't like people. If I could smell them, they were too close to me.
I was also one of those no handshakes. I'll give you a fist bump.
Yep.
Because people are gross.
One of these, yeah. One of
people
these.
Are
and then
gross.
You still wash your hands afterward.
Yeah.
And also gloves. Nitrile. I didn't do latex because that's bad for people, but sometimes they can be allergic. But I would do nitrile gloves for everything. If it's just not worth it. Also caught dysentery on patrol, so that really changed my enthusiasm for gloves.
So before we move on,
patrolling Oregon, right?
Brian said, "Why didn't they go ahead and get him under control when he was hugging? You can see PC by all the trash in the driveway."
I don't know what your PC would have been as far as trash in the driveway, because you can't litter on your own property, if that makes any sense. And like it's maybe a city ordinance
even
violation.
if they had seen the guns.
Yeah. Even if they had seen guns, like let's say it's
doesn't
like
matter.
Just
it's his house.
It's dependent, unless it's like a weird state, right, where they're going to say that mere presence of a firearm is going to be considered PC.
I believe that was Arizona. So
it was Maricopa.
You might get reasonable suspicion, like if you think that he's having some sort of existential crisis. Like I see that there's stuff like it all depends on how you articulate it, but it's weak at
and
best.
Also it was a noise complaint. It wasn't
that's what I was getting at.
It wasn't anything to do with firearms, nothing like that. It was a noise complaint. So
like the question I always ask when you're going to sit there and say I have PC, am I willing to fight this guy over the PC I have?
Well, you can tell that would have been a fight.
So that's kind of what I'm getting at is I don't know. I don't know if it was just a noise complaint, then for damn sure you don't have PC for a detention there. And there was really no way. If all their call was a noise complaint, I don't think you have. I guess, was it like a domestic that went bad or what?
No, it was just a noise complaint.
Damn.
It was a loud music disturbance.
Yeah. I was thinking no. No, it was somebody was like, they're being noisy. And
you could hear his music. I mean, he lives in a neighborhood. You could hear his music. I'm sure plenty of people called.
Yeah.
That was Dallas. You could get him for dog off leash.
You know what? Arlington was like that too. You had dog off leash, but that's a city ordinance. Like,
I mean, the trash would be
I'm not
too.
I'm not throwing a guy on the ground. Leash your dog and throw him on the ground.
Well, you'd be the only one.
Yeah.
Dallas PD. No.
Yeah. Not doing
they do have signs everywhere.
Yeah.
I believe it. All right, so New Orleans police officer shoots man with knife outside the Caesars Superdome.
Go ahead.
This is your warning. Look, it's on screen.
Where
it's a
the
warning.
shitty football team that I like plays football.
But it hadn't been the same since post Drew Brees, man.
Or Sean Payton.
That too.
He left us too.
They always leave.
There's a good old Yellow Jacket security.
Yeah.
That all of the football stadiums have. Christian, thank you for the super chat, my guy.
Oh, Christian, my guy.
Put the knife down. Put the knife down.
Put the knife down. Shoot right through.
Shoot right there.
We're not trying to do that. We just want to talk. What's going on?
Yeah.
Put the knife down.
Probably dies right
Put
there.
the knife down. Put the knife down. Put the knife down. Put the knife
These
down.
are all movements that are indicating that you want.
What are you doing?
Get out! What an animal!
Wow.
Oh wow!
An animal!
Wow, that's impressive. That dude trains.
High five to this guy.
Sheesh.
I'm gonna say it. We're fucked now because this is gonna be the standard. Why didn't you shoot the knife out of his hand?
You're not wrong.
Damn, son.
Shout out to this guy.
Yeah.
What an animal.
Also, he barely.
Well, that was an idiot. The dude was moving all over the place.
That's what I mean. He just sat there. And
very impressed.
That was a very quick, like, line of sight. Like,
he wasn't like aiming. He just popped on the sights, cranked the round off, and he knew he hit. Wow! Shout out to this guy,
bro.
Shout out to this guy.
Brian said, "Lucky or training?" I'm gonna lean to training on that one.
I'm gonna say. Well, I'm not gonna say doesn't have the training, but there's a bit of luck there.
Of course,
there's a smidge bit of luck.
There's luck with every gunshot. But come on.
Yeah, to get it in the cone that you need to get it in to actually hit.
And here's also what's
that's luck. Good.
So here's also what's going to be, and just to point out to people why sometimes this is also still a very bad idea, is when you look at someone's arm versus someone's torso, right?
You could see
I have every reason to shoot this guy because he's posing a deadly threat to me, and I can't let him go anywhere because he's going to be a deadly threat to somebody else. And if you take somebody hostage, whatever. Look at ballistic tests, and these are NIJ standards. This is federal and national standards for ballistics. And a 9mm round will go clean through a person and out the other end, right? And that's if you're hitting them in the torso. In the arm, you have way less matter to go through there. Let's say this bullet zips right through this guy's arm and ends up landing into somebody behind him, ricocheting and killing a kid. What happened in Target, this is a few months ago that we were doing this, but the guy shot a rifle round off, hits the guy, but the rifle round rips right through this dude and goes into some chick in a cleaning room. This is a stadium. Likely there's other people around there, and if it's a stadium just like all other stadiums, it's in a pretty densely populated place. My only issue with that from a safety standpoint is if you don't hit bone, that's going clean through his arm and out the other end, and you are now risking your backstop. His backstop was a concrete wall, so I'll bless it. But as a
kind of those were ticket windows.
Oh, right. I guess you're right. Yeah, right behind him. There could have very easily been staff there.
So it could have been. I'm just saying.
I am going to high five the officer. I'm not going to go and disparage his actions. Results do matter. Nobody else was hurt, and he managed to take this person into custody alive, albeit with a new piercing. But take that into consideration when you're looking at this type of stuff. Really, it's not the reason why we teach center mass. It's the quickest way to get them to stop doing what they're doing. But also, bullets really aren't designed to stop immediately right then and there. And so you really do create an extra bit of risk for anything behind him. This is why we discuss backstops all the time, because let's say you try to aim center mass or you miss, or just happens to miss any bones or anything hard, it might go clean through him and hurt somebody else. And even if you do everything right,
your arm bones are not large bones. Yeah. They're very small.
Or if it hits him in the hand, or worse, if it was the hand, there's
nothing to stop it.
Yeah, there's nothing to stop a bullet there. So just food for thought.
It was impressive, though.
Yeah, I will get shout out to this guy.
It was impressive.
Yeah, results absolutely matter, and
it was cool.
Yeah, he gets Yeah, he definitely gets an S on the ready or not score.
Well, especially in I mean this in the nicest possible way, but it's New Orleans, so no one would have batted an eye had there been another murder. No. They have so much crime.
Use those hollow points. Even hollow points don't stop that quickly. They will stop pretty shallow within a target. They don't stop that fast. Not for an arm. I think the minimum distance is 12 inches that it has to go to meet NIJ standards, and most standard issue duty rounds will I think they'll do 16 inches worth of matter, which is a lot thicker than most people.
So it wouldn't go through my arm then.
Yeah, I wouldn't go through Bill's arm.
That's why we both, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. Shout out to Dollar General.
Nothing ever good happens in front of a Dollar General.
Also, shout out to police activity.
We have a lot of
go to Dollar
YouTube
Tree
videos from
now.
them today.
Tyler Stevens, what's going on? Didn't like this. Whoop. There's a weird placement for this dash cam. It's like really off to the side.
It is weird
It's like way over there.
because it's like
Could it have
it
gotten
shouldn't
bumped
be
and no one
picking up the
noticed?
spotlight.
No.
Like you can even see the like rear view mirror pillar.
Yeah.
It's probably the same mounts that we used to have that just kind of like sat in the
You can
ceiling.
kind of.
So
Yeah.
when you drove really fast and your steering wheel started shaking, the dash cam just kind of turns a little.
Slowly turn.
I love the red square that tells you nothing because the dash cam's not pointed at what it's pointing at. Like, hey, there's something
Oh,
over
this-
here off frame.
This guy, so I guess he saw a buy. That looked like a buy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that was a buy, dude. Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh my guy.
So far, so good on the stream. I've been watching every YouTube video.
Yeah, the video's playing pretty smoothly. This needed some Benny Hill music.
We got one of them.
What's your location?
Oh man, I would not feel good about this. You have no idea where the other guy is.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us which radio person that is. We're getting into
Bro, this is the
Oh,
suspect.
there he is.
Bro, my guy.
This is sketchy as hell.
My guy. Yeah. That was my fear on that one. Golly. The guy in the truck saw what was happening. He's like, no, dude,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you don't approach stuff by yourself. I get what he was doing. He's trying to create a detention.
pull that radio and tell us what unit it is.
Oh my god.
326
Shut the
Foxtrot,
fuck
showing in front
up.
of all
Dude,
states,
dispatch.
Newtown Road,
That wasn't
looks like
dispatch. That was a
649,
fucking
Newtown
I know
sergeant
it's a
or
Road.
sergeant, but
lieutenant.
I'm just saying, everybody else that's getting the radio right now.
Pull that radio. Shut the fuck up.
Bro, is this fire responding?
Dude, fire
Bro,
showed
shout
up.
out to fire, my guy.
Look
Wow.
at them go.
Cheesy, I've never been more proud of your profession.
Yeah, I want to see what he sees
This is the body cam now.
here. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is for sure a buy because old boy's walking by here. Yeah, you're feeling very. No. What are we doing here? He just lets him go and is like, oh, because he dropped everything there. Oh, I wonder if the gun was there.
The gun was in the bag.
Oh,
I don't know if you'll see it on the body cam, but I saw on the oh shit.
He was-
Oh, there's one.
Oh
She's lucky she
shit.
didn't die.
That's why he was so concerned with her. Oh, dude, she's lucky she didn't get shot after
Yeah, dude.
old boy came
Damn.
and shot, or old boy came and pulled his gun.
I will shoot you.
Yeah.
Stay in your car.
This is the worst call I think I've ever seen. This is the shortest of straws.
Help me handcuff her. Help me handcuff
Golly,
Oh.
dude.
You get it?
God.
Oh, dude. She's so lucky she didn't get domed right there.
Yeah.
Let go of the gun. Let go of the fucking gun.
I'm not gonna lie, probably. I get the civilian not wanting to approach this.
Let go. Gun. Shots fired.
So you see how the bag moved up in front of the
Yeah.
car?
Gun down.
It's because he
Yeah.
picked it up and pulled the
picked it
gun
up.
out of it.
Yeah. I tell you
Fuck.
what, dude. I'm gonna be honest. The fact that he didn't just automatically turn and start shooting her, like, shout out to this guy. This is two absolutely crushing at cops right now. Him coming
Ooh.
up to the stop by himself, was probably not the greatest idea, but I get that he sees a buy. He's got all the PC he needs right there for the detention. He didn't have the empty hand skills to get this guy into custody, but to be honest, it probably saved his life. Because let's say he takes this dude to the ground, right? And now they're fighting over this gun, and now he has a second armed person that could easily have come up and shot him right in the head.
What if he did get him into custody, went to go put him in his car, and she just smokes him from the other side of the car?
Yeah, like weirdly enough, I really do feel like that saved his life. And sometimes you're lucky on some of that stuff. The guy knew what he had. The guy was
also good for him to see that dude come back.
That's what I mean. Like to not
be tunnel visioned.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, jeez. Shout out to that guy. I mean, was it pretty? No, and in reality, it never is. Like really and truly, in these type of situations where you're getting into a scuffle, it's never perfect. It's super rare that it ever comes off perfectly. But this is why you do not approach stuff like this by yourself. And this is why I don't know. This is why I've always been a very big advocate for 2-man units because you'll never have to worry about going to something by yourself. A 2-man unit probably would have dominated this call. This would have been a very one-sided thing. That guy probably survives that encounter, to be honest, if he's got 2 people that roll up on him like that. But it would have been a lot less stressful for that officer. And not to mention a lot less dangerous for the people around him. Old Ford F-150 guy wanted to help, but he's like, bro, I don't know that I'm approaching y'all scuffling over a gun.
Well, and he told him to stay in his car too, so he's like,
agreed. That's what
do I not listen to this guy and go help him anyways? Like
exactly. So like that was the shortest of straws for that guy to have pulled, and I think he rolled with it and it worked out.
Yeah.
Why did you shoot your car?
That's a write-up.
That's a write-up. 100%.
The same sergeant that said, pick up your radio and tell us where you are, said, here's your write-up for shooting a patrol vehicle.
Tyler points out the situational awareness, for sure.
Yes.
Pamela's like, no way I could be an officer. People are crazy.
Me either, Pamela. Me
either. That's why Dylan and I don't do it anymore. I probably only had 2 or 3 calls that I felt like got that far away from me, where I was like,
well, we never had any call that got that far away from us.
That's what I mean. Where it felt like it was getting away from me, and I was like,
I had one very short straw drawn on me.
Yeah.
Thank God.
That is probably one of the worst calls.
Yeah.
I've seen in a while.
Long time.
That is like the shortest of short straws. Like that's. I don't know how you do it better outside of nobody getting shot or whatever. But I mean, what are you gonna do? She's very lucky to be alive. To be honest,
very.
If I was that officer, she probably wouldn't be.
Alive. I guarantee you.
Yeah, she'd probably be dead.
The moment I saw it, that she grabbed for it twice.
So I'm saying that second reach for it, and you'd be justified. And I want to come out and say that you'd be 100% justified.
Had she put her hands out on the pavement like this?
It's a different story. Completely different.
But you reach for that thing twice?
It is not being armed that makes you a threat.
Yeah.
Everybody driving a car in that instance would be a threat, right?
Yeah.
It's you starting to leverage that as an offensive weapon, or you starting to threaten something. Even the mere threat of it. If I walk up to Juan and flash him my gun and say, hey, so on and so forth. You know?
Did that the other day. What are you talking about?
You did that the other day, right?
That was, he flashed me something else. That's fine.
Oh.
It was something.
Did you have your glasses on to see it?
He had his contacts in.
Okay,
I had my microscope out.
His microscope out.
Pocket magnifying glass.
It was Science Day.
It was.
Did you find the sun so you could try and scar your name onto it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways.
Either way, don't present deadly threats to police officers.
Yeah. Shout out to that guy.
Shout out to that guy.
Very sorry for your upcoming PTSD because you're gonna have some.
You're gonna have a lot of that.
That sucks.
That is one of the worst.
Hopefully they allow you to get therapy.
If not, quit. Fuck that place. Fuck that job.
Go do something else. Clearly, you have skills. Use them for something better.
Go use them. Go use them for the internet.
Yeah. You can come be on our show.
Come on the stream. We'll go say hi.
You can tell us how everybody should be doing stuff better. Clearly.
Exactly.
Yes.
Hey, More of an expert than me, that's for damn sure.
Males, private stolen vehicles, are stripping them right now. I do. All three are scrambling. So we're gonna go into the takedown.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
There's one dead in the
Bureau of
car.
Land Management.
He's not dead. He just made a noise. I can't do anything.
It's in Nevada.
Greg was up there committing a crime. I absolutely get that. My thing is, he deserves to be in jail. He doesn't deserve to be dead.
What?
On March 17th, in the desert northeast of Las Vegas, Bureau of Land Management officers came across 3 men dismantling stolen vehicles. The men drove towards the officers. None of the officers on the road fired, but a BLM trainee, Cody Negrete, more than 100 feet above the road, fired 8 shots.
Stop! We're gonna get Get on the door, move! Hey, we got one down in the vehicle. Hands! Put your hands out!
One of the car thieves, Greg Davis, was killed and 2 others were injured.
Why did we get shot for?
Hey, bud. Hey, listen to commands. I have a tourniquet. We'll take care of you. I'm gonna call your stuff off just to make sure you're okay, okay?
Well, shout out to these guys having life-saving training.
The officers later defended.
Probably the most action that park officer is ever going to see in her entire life.
Ever.
That's wild.
What a wild call.
Defended their actions to Metro Police investigators, saying they feared for their lives. BLM never released officers' names, reports, and body cam video, but a source provided exclusive investigative records to the Review Journal. Police experts questioned whether the use of force was justified and whether Metro properly investigated the incident.
It's a cover-up. They're trying to cover up. Covering up because I think they all made mistakes. And the chief, you know, the chief telling them to go up there made the bad call by sending the rookie up to the hilltop.
Also?
You know what Detective Penny told me?
The safest place to have put that rookie is
was
up there on that hilltop.
And how much of a rookie could he have been if he had a rifle?
Well, and when I'll say this, so I don't know enough of what, because it's very hard to see what's going on. But if I saw a car driving towards Bill, right, at a high rate of speed, and I had a rifle in my hand, what do you want me to do?
I want you to shoot the driver. Please.
Right? And the reason why I bring this up is just because other officers can't see the threat that you see, right? Does it, you as an officer, what is his articulation for this use of force, right? I have a rifle. I can see in defense of a third person that there's potentially what I already know is a felony in progress. These are stolen cars. These guys are not fleeing away from law enforcement, but going towards them. Maybe they were trying to go around. Maybe they were trying to whatever. Maybe when somebody was totally robbing a bank, he didn't intend on hurting anybody. But if he gets smoked, nobody sits there and says,
right,
well, my friend that was robbing the bank deserves to be, whatever. Don't put yourself in a set of circumstances that is going to make a officer believe that you were a threat to someone else's life. It's my first bit of this. I think their argument would make more sense if there wasn't this set of circumstances where, like, their arguments of them saying the rookie should have been on the hilltop is stupid, because that really is truly the safest place for him to be.
Yeah.
And the other officers not discharging their firearm probably had more to do with them worried about policy. If you're in your vehicle, oftentimes you cannot discharge your firearm at another vehicle unless they're shooting at you or whatever, some crazy circumstance. And a rookie officer may not understand policy, or that policy doesn't affect him, because guess what? He's not in a car and he's looking at. So it's a very different set of circumstances. It's without like a bird's eye view of how this thing went down. All you have is, yes, I as the officer believe that vehicle was about to ram another vehicle, which is deadly force. This is aggravated assault in progress. And so in the preservation of that
in
third
the commission
person,
of another felony.
Yeah.
So
I do feel for them. I wish they could have just complied and not driven off like crazy people. Probably would still be breathing today. And the officers did try to apply some level of, it's not like they just left them there.
Right.
You know, they did try to do life-saving measures on that, but I have a very hard time with a lot of these things. Because honestly, let's say, okay, they stole some cars, right? They were selling them for parts, right? Let's say it was their first offense. It doesn't matter if it was their 50th offense or whatever. They're going to get 2 or 3 years and they're going to get kicked. They're going to plea out or they're going to whatever. Instead, the discussion was, oh, I'm going to go drive off and do whatever. Let's say the officers get out of the way, nobody shoots at them, and they plow into a family of 4. They go and run into this lady's house, right? Or something like it's as cruel and weird as this sounds from the outside in, they have an obligation to contain that situation where it's at. Would I have shot in that circumstances? I don't know, because I didn't see what he was going to see. I just don't understand their argument of saying that, well, they weren't posing a threat to anybody. When you're driving a stolen car at somebody, yeah, you're doing that. And again, there's a lot of controversy around that, but without more evidence, it'd be really difficult to do. The easiest way to avoid this is to not steal cars, go out into the things, and if police show up, to run. The easiest way to avoid all this kind of stuff. That being said, I do believe officers should be held to a high standard. I don't see that there was anything necessarily wrong. Their critique of it's kind of weird, and this is really more of a puff piece on trying to. Obviously, this is a controversial thing, and they can muddy the waters with saying they stuck the rookie on the hill and they did whatever. And
also, the other thing I think we need to point out here is that those are federal police officers, like federal officers.
This is Bureau of Land Management.
They don't fall under the same like reporting circumstances as city police officers do. So that for them to say hidden records expose a federal shooting, they don't have to release that shit.
Nope.
That doesn't fall
on them. It's a very different ballgame. So you should do a Freedom of Information Act on the CIA. See how that goes.
Yeah, good luck.
Or the FBI.
Good luck.
Or the Department of Defense. Or
dude, the only time we see FBI shootings is when they release them. That's the only time you're ever going to see an FBI shooting.
Is that right or wrong?
Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
We don't get a say in it.
That's what I'm getting at. Is like, unless you and if you want that to change, I totally get. And I am team transparency. I really am. I want to see transparency in this type of stuff.
I mean, they wear body cameras. I want to be able to hold.
And I want to be able to hold these people accountable if they do the job unjustly. However, they are treating this, like you said, like it's a city cop doing city things. If you go to a nuclear facility, for instance, and you pass the 18 signs that tell you, if you cross this, it's a shoot-on-site place.
Yeah.
They're going to shoot you. And will they have body cam? Sure. Will they have security cam footage? Sure. It's like, hey, man, you cleared into Area 51.
Yeah.
They could capture you and torture you for the rest of your life, and no one's ever going to know, because that's kind of the rules that you're set up there.
Yeah, the people that disappear at Area 51 aren't taken by aliens. They're taken by the government.
Yeah. It's a very different, and it's not a tinfoil hat thing. It's just the nature of the beast.
Good luck.
We were talking about Ned, so I'm neither for or against it, but I understand. I understand the situation that the logic they're trying to apply to it. It just doesn't make any sense when applied through rational minds. I get it, and I would advocate obviously for what is this guy? Who's this guy?
3D forensic. We're not. I'm good with this video.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's expert witnesses that are actually.
This is an opinion piece. I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean,
but again, you can tell because their main witnesses here are the guy's girlfriend and the guy's ex-wife. So. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure that this is meant to be a particularly investigative piece. It's more of like a
I want to see this
job for clicks
dash cam,
which is fine if this is what their channel does, but
nah, bro. That truck was coming right for that vehicle. I can 100% understand.
And this is how you know, this obviously it's deceptively edited because they want the views and they want the hype and all of that stuff. But you would have started with that. You just show the freaking here's the clip.
Yeah.
And then talk about exactly what we do on this channel. Hey, you know why? Because I believe. and being transparent about this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just like, if you don't have that, if you're starting it with this is the girlfriend's opinion, and then this is the ex-wife's opinion on what happened, and this is what she heard from some detective. For one thing, none of that would have ever held up in court. So why are you even talking about it? But for another thing, like, you're very clearly trying to set up a narrative beforehand. You are judging people's minds towards a certain conclusion, and then you're building your case based on that conclusion, which is a terrible. But I will say, so as my little end to my stump speech here, that is how most documentaries are made. You have a conclusion, and then you're building to that conclusion. People like to think that documentaries are the truth because it's like, oh, it's investigative. No. They had something they wanted to say. Sometimes they discover something different and they go, oh, that's more interesting. And they'll go, okay, cool. So this is what we actually discovered. But most of the time, like, what you have is the documentaries are pre-written, and then you go out and you find the stuff that you need to build that documentary out to prove what you want to do. It's an argumentative essay.
Yeah.
Think of it as an argumentative essay, not as a, piece of news objective. Or whatever.
Think about
it's not objective. Yeah. It's the same reason why, like, your primetime news is so much more opinionated than your regular, like, 2:00 news, where it's literally just like, well, this happened and this happened and this happened. All right, here's the weather.
Right.
And that's boring. Nobody's watching, so who cares?
Yeah.
And then at nighttime, you get your Tuckers and your Rachel Maddows being like, well, let me tell you what everybody did and why you should be angry.
They're both so great.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Yeah. Oh, yeah, shut up.
But really, Josh and I can't even speak on this because we did not have any involvement in a federal police agency. So I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know their policies. I don't know what they have to report. But my guess is they don't. My guess is they don't have to tell anybody shit.
Yeah.
So.
And I think Nevada's like 95% federal land. So
probably, dude. It's just
you drive anywhere outside of Las Vegas, and you are in federal land committing probably federal offenses. So
good luck.
Like.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a lot there for us to talk about.
Yeah. But it was put in the podcast link, so I played it.
Yeah. Well, hey, we got some good points out of it. Now everybody knows we don't know shit about federal stuff.
That's true.
Let's stop doing it. So we'll say this again.
If we're saying drop the gun, we should be pointing guns.
Shout out to the F-150 patrol vehicle.
We got one male at gunpoint.
I'll shout out the Motorola BODYCAM.
And the old Panasonic Tough Book.
Dude, Panasonic still makes this? I don't think I've even seen a Panasonic camera in a while.
Litchfield, Illinois.
Hey. Come on, man. Let me talk to you for a minute.
You're not in trouble.
Yeah, they still make stuff.
Do they?
Yeah, I was going to go to the... They're just not in the, like, mainstream conversation of cameras, so that's why I was, like, confused. They have some good, like, vlogging cameras, but I haven't kept up with them in a long time.
I'm very confused what's going on here.
I am too, because I was looking at cameras.
But we're so nonchalant about this guy with a gun.
That's what's weird about it. And I mean, I get that he's pointing at himself, but...
Put him in the arm.
Hey, man. Come here. Let me talk to you.
Pick that arm. What are we doing?
What? I want to talk to you.
Come here,
let me talk to you.
What are we
Put
doing?
your hands up where I can see them.
This already armed. There we go. There we go.
I want your hands up.
At least he was behind those vehicles, I guess.
That's true.
I want your hands up. I want your hands up. Put your hands up where I can see
working,
them.
buddy. Gotta try something different.
I want your hands up. I don't want to shoot you. I want your hands up. I want to talk to you. I don't know your family, but I want to talk to you. We're 2-lane 66 at knee houses. Come on, man. Let me talk to you for a minute.
Yeah. Probably in the rain, too.
Yeah. Hey, man, come on. Let me talk to you for a minute.
This shit always happens in the rain.
Hey! Come on! Stop! 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 Just stop.
This is the issue with this circumstance, is like, how long do you let him keep going?
I'm telling you to stop.
I couldn't tell.
Where bowler wraps make sense.
I couldn't see, but if he pointed a gun at that vehicle on the roadway, we're done with this. Like,
that's what I mean. Yeah. He's already showcased that he's perfectly willing to do. Yeah, less lethal something.
Is this a police explorer? Okay. I thought this some dude from the street was just
chilling. The explorer.
Because it's not marked.
It's just super unmarked.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Have fun being a backdrop, dude.
Yeah.
I get what they're doing, but this isn't the way to do it.
It's fun to drift in the post because you get the big splash.
Crossfire's a problem.
Come on, man, just stop for a second.
Bro, this guy in the Explorer, what an animal.
Stop for a second. Stop for a second.
Taser didn't work. You're letting him run in the street. He's an armed dude running in the street. Could very easily start shooting
like,
people.
Are we going to let him go back to a public roadway?
What are we doing?
I don't
what are these
know.
Guys doing?
I gotta have a rifle? Okay.
Yeah, he has a rifle.
Bro, I tell you what, and I understand hesitation. I understand wanting to take this guy into custody. I get that. But, like, there's a lot of guys that got a lot of fucked up PTSD that aren't doing this.
Right, but now you're by businesses, you're by people in the, like, driving on a public roadway.
And I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
CBD, tools, and home decor. They do everything there.
They do it all.
Come on, man. Look around. It's over. Drop the gun. Let's talk.
Maybe they know him. This looks like a teeny tiny town.
Come on, we just want to talk to you.
It's a small town.
I wonder if this is like a frequent flyer or something.
I guess, but
they haven't said his name yet.
That's really close. Oh, that's really close. That's
wow, thank you for putting your second hand on your gun, finally.
Yeah.
Why did we tase and shoot? Oh, there's a SWAT guy.
Drop the gun! He's under pressure on taser. Drop the gun! Pressure on taser.
Man, I hate that. I also have a hard time feeling, but like I get it. I have fucked up PTSD. I know plenty of veterans that have fucked up PTSD.
I think he just said that's the chief in the Explorer.
Oh, what an animal, dude.
That makes sense for that unmarked of a vehicle.
Yeah. Pause it. I'm a little disappointed that if the chief watched this happen for this long, that he didn't just like, hey, let's handle this. Like, we do not need this guy running around the city with a gun.
Yeah.
You're walking into traffic, walking around businesses. Like, hey, we're behind some industrial buildings. Let's handle this and try to get this guy some first aid. But like, what we're not going to do is because like, let's say this is a 15 round exchange of gunfire, right? An average magazine here is going to have 15 to 17 rounds. If this guy empties that entire gun near a street, right?
Or into a vehicle of somebody just driving by.
My only frustration with this, and it's like, I understand the civilian mindset on this is that you're going to try to do everything you possibly can to take this person into custody. And I agree with that. If he was a jumper, take 10 hours if that's what it takes to get this guy down from it safely. That's fine. Because jumping off a bridge is going to do nothing but hurt himself, right?
Yeah.
Or if he's trying to OD, or if he's locked himself in a bathroom and has a knife to his throat, whatever. If he's in a contained area, hang out, dude. You take all the time you need to talk this guy down. I've been there plenty of times. This is very different. This is a very different set of circumstances because and what makes me frustrated about this, and this is culture. This is the culture of the last couple of years on how people evaluate law enforcement uses of force, is that they're willing, that you are gambling everyone else's life on this guy deciding that he's not going to be homicidal.
Yeah.
If my wife's going to get groceries and gets hit by a stray bullet because you didn't stop, you know, this situation, like, what are you going to tell me? I've had to do death notifications. I've had to do all that stuff. I've had to arrest the guy 15 times on a domestic, and the DA keeps kicking it until eventually they kill who they're going after. Like, you just can't. Once you stop valuing the lives of others, what do you want law enforcement to do? I don't know. This makes me mad to watch, and I'm sympathetic here, but
I don't understand the taser deployment.
Yeah, I get why they think it was a good idea. If it make, like, in their mind, as long as I tase him, I've exhausted every possible opportunity. But you exposed everyone. Like, if I told, you know, Juan, how cool would you be with me randomly swinging a gun around inside your house? Like, how long would you be cool with me doing that? Without at least telling me, you know?
Yeah.
You'd at the very least be like, bro, like, we're friends, but like, you need to go.
Maybe once.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I dropped,
if you were like showing
like
me,
that,
you know, something cool,
and I was being dumb or whatever, like,
you're like, look, it doesn't go off.
Yeah, or whatever.
And then it does.
Like,
and then it does.
just, like
that one video.
And it turns out it's a SIG P320, and then it just. I stole that joke from the chat.
Juan's an animal.
Thank you, Brian.
Well, Juan's out here throwing stones.
That was good, Brian. That was good.
That was pretty savage. Wow. Reese, what's going on? Used vehicle.
Not with a gun in his hand.
I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
just hit that. Hey, he just wanted to find love in his city. And if he could have watched our stream instead of waving a gun around, he would have been fine, man.
Find your love in you city.
Sex 69 fun.
Get better at English.
Wow,
you're worse than Josh.
I'm trying to catch it.
Yep.
Wow.
Let's see. Why are they on foot? I don't know. They're trying to tase them or whatever. I don't really understand what was going on.
They should have pitted them.
From Illinois is always a cloudy day. I can imagine that, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
Dude, I've slipped on concrete just like that running.
I bet. Yeah. Thank you to everybody who
could have just fallen.
Currently watching. Go ahead and drop a like on the stream. Thank you to everyone who monetized this unmonetizable stream. Actually,
Josh,
you know how I feel about you.
Josh, you're gonna love this one.
Oh yeah. At least it's a short one. You won't get too mad.
You might get mad.
This is our thumbnail video.
It sure is.
Ultra 1050.
This one's pretty. This one's almost as bad as the one with that dude who was running for House or Senate or whatever position he was running for in Florida.
I wonder what he stopped them for.
You'll see.
Golf cart.
What?
It's a deadly weapon.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Good. I'm Deputy Jacoby, the Sheriff's Office. Stopped you because you driving tag or unregistered vehicle with no tag on it on the roadway.
Yeah, we went to the club. It was closed, so we went over and picked up some.
Is your camera on?
It is.
Yes.
I'm the police chief in Tampa.
Oh, how
That's
you doing?
adorable.
I'm doing good.
Okay.
I'm hoping that you'll just let us go tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll say you. Now that you say you look familiar, so.
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
Okay.
Yikes.
So, all right, folks. Well, have a good night.
No.
Looks like Woodlands.
The guy knew better.
Okay. All right. Well, it's nice to meet you. So, I'm Deputy Jacoby.
Okay.
Same here, my friend.
All right.
Take care of yourself.
All right.
Sorry
Take care.
to bother you.
All right. No worries. No worries. Like I say, we have a lot of problems with the golf carting around here. You know, everybody comes
No,
out.
we don't normally come out.
We
but
never
the club
come
was
out.
closed, so we
Never,
saw
never.
You're doing it now.
All right. All right, then we'll take care. And it was nice meeting you.
All right.
All right.
If you ever need anything, call me.
Okay.
Serious.
All right. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for yours.
Thank you.
So, take care.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you.
Have a good night, folks.
Official oppression. Official oppression. Bribery. Was there a disposition here?
She did resign. She had to resign when this
She
came
resigned,
out.
yeah.
Apparently, according to the comments on this video, I believe they said she had gotten in trouble for like beating somebody in custody before she became a chief and had to quit because of that, and then went on to become a chief in Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like this the pattern. Anyway. I do like, so I don't know if you noticed this with the guy when he handed the badge or whatever, and he's just kind of very like, yeah, kind of like trying to close it. I feel like he knew this was going to get her in trouble because he very quickly tried to close it and like put it away after she tried to hand it over.
I'm very glad he didn't try and argue with her. Like, I'm glad he just let this go and was like, I'll take care of this on the back end.
Was it probably a Class C or something? Sure. It was probably a very small misdemeanor. A ticketable offense at best, right?
Yeah.
No tags.
But like
a golf cart on the roadway, like I get why he's stopping.
Was this in Florida?
Yeah, I don't know what city it was, but
there should be like a
suburb of Tampa.
if you come out and say the words, I think you should just let this go because I'm a cop.
So that was a county.
I want you to earn automatic punch in the face.
That was a county sheriff's deputy.
Like, I gotta be careful with what I say because last time I got pissed off about this. Strike. I don't know. It's super frustrating. Like, I have.
We'll say this: there should definitely be strict consequences for this type of behavior.
Yes. Not resigning. No.
Yeah, because
we charge legal
people,
consequences and accountability.
Yeah. We charge people for owning plants and put them in prison. We can take officials getting paid too much money, public money,
why do you have duct tape in your hand?
Oh, it's the gaffer tape. I'm trying to it's like my stress ball right now. I'm getting really mad. I'm trying
We're just going to put it over here.
I've got a little tag thingy that I'm working with over here.
I'm just sitting here trying
to got like a little box I'm ripping up. Yeah.
I'm trying not to punch my screen. I don't know, man. It pisses me off when I see, especially that high up, this person's easily making six figures on the public dime and has the gall. Like, to think you'd care. You've been doing the job so long that you'd have pride in like not being a shit person and representing your department well. Like, to think you would care at least a little bit, to be like, wow, this might look bad on like not just me but the entire like profession.
And like, knowing it because you asked, is your camera on? And then proceeded to do it anyway when told yes.
Why not just take the ticket?
Yeah, at that point, just be like, oh, okay, yeah. Just be like, good job on having your camera on.
Who's gonna write you up?
Not that it was even gonna be her ticket. It was gonna be
her husband's ticket that she could have just paid.
Right.
Unless he was drunk, which I've worked quite a few. I've worked quite a few DWIs, and he definitely had some signs through that camera lens.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
Bill, if you and I were on duty and we pulled that over and we didn't do SFSTs or even ask, they're operating a motor conveyance on a public roadway? Are we looking at time off?
No, we're looking at not having a job.
That's what I'm getting at, dude. Like, it's...
I don't know. Maybe he wasn't drunk. Maybe old boy didn't get any factors.
I don't know, man.
But I saw a couple.
I'm not mad at the deputy, to be honest. I think he knew it was up. He understood what situation he was in, and he was like, "This is not worth the juice. Is not worth the squeeze right now."
I agree.
What I'm getting at is that the circumstances even exist for him to feel that way.
Yeah.
I'd feel the same way.
And it wasn't his chief; it was a city chief. Like, he's a county deputy. Like, he's a county sheriff's deputy. So.
I don't know, man. God, this pisses me off more than anything. I don't know. We'll keep going because I'm going to start threatening people or whatever, and I don't need to do that.
Well, here's another OIS to brighten your day.
Thank you, everyone that monetizes this. You guys are at least getting us something for my anger and rage.
It's soothing us.
So I need to address Tyler's comment really quick.
What is it?
He didn't try to ID her. She ID'd herself.
She did.
So she fucked that all up. Because you're right. She probably would not have even been asked a question.
Anything, dude. She's just man. It just she went out of her way to try to leverage her position. It's official oppression. Like I don't know how else to articulate that. She should be going to prison.
I agree.
Like I don't know. Man.
Let's get back to the shooting.
Yeah. Oh man.
No audio for this. Because this is a surveillance vehicle, I guess.
Is it just choppy?
Yes. This video is choppy. It is not the stream.
It's like 2 frames a second.
It is this video. Do not tell me that my stream is choppy.
I'm just making sure.
It's the video.
No, surveillance cameras typically do like still images.
Yeah.
And then cut it into a video.
Tyler, you're probably 100% right.
I think she should have totally shut her mouth. There's no reason.
Seattle Police Department.
Got no movement.
I need you to come to the front door, open it slowly with nothing.
Is Juan's camera on ready or not all the time?
Yeah, with my shield up.
Damn.
Go! Go! Where's he at? He's down!
Damn.
A bad day.
Turn it down a little.
Shout out to the Costco water.
Shout out to Costco.
Shout out to the Costco water.
Mm-hmm.
Costco started just outside of Seattle.
Hey, really?
Yeah. Issaquah, Washington.
Shout out to the Daniel Defense.
Hey, shots fired! Joe, I got
Yeah, shout out to that pistol grip. It's fucking sweet. Feels so good in your hand.
I can't with you.
What? Sorry, I love my.
So what was the deal?
Sorry, I love my AR pistol.
What's the pistol? What's the
Nobody knows how to take a decent video is what the deal is.
Homicide suspect. And he shot at SWAT officers first. So.
They responded.
We get it.
I finished that fight.
This is why you need little turret camera and little gun camera, like one of those little pen cameras at least. You can see what the hell's going on. I can see what they.
Thank you guys for being here and liking the stream. I appreciate it. Sweeper, nope. I think it was what Josh said was it just wasn't worth the hassle because it writes ticket. So it's power.
Yeah, because Sweeper said, why not just write the ticket? And
it goes like that one that got us banned that we watched where the guy started being like, call your chief. He used to work for me, blah, blah,
it becomes
blah.
It becomes a way bigger deal. It becomes a way bigger. What you do is you take your L, you go straight to the news and you release it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Probably exactly what happened.
I would call the news right then and there and be like, hey, I got some body cam footage y'all want to see.
Maybe talk to your admin first.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I do it in that order. Knowing that I was done working at that police department.
Oh.
Yeah, 100% done.
That's fine. If you know you're done, hell yeah, go to the news.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
So, I really just playing this one to get Josh's opinion. I don't know what educational value we'll get out of it. But.
Would this make you feel safe? Take a look. A security guard armed with a semi-automatic weapon. It's happening at a North Philly gas station.
Given the way he's holding it.
The idea to scare off criminals. If you saw this is our go vote for tonight. Would you feel safer or uncomfortable?
Start a poll.
Right now the vote is 65%.
Yeah, what do you think? I'll start it.
Safer, 35% uncomfortable. So be sure to vote at fox29.com.
65% said safer. Damn.
In Philly too.
That's in Philly.
To keep both his workers and customers safe.
Yeah, interesting listening to those numbers you just gave us, Sheba. So the store manager says that he had to do something more than call 911. And most customers, I'll tell you, that I talked to this evening on and off camera say that they support this, but there were a few who say they don't believe this is the right approach. Hired security strapped with AR-15s or shotguns,
Nope.
standing guard and walking the property of this North Philly gas station.
Those AR-15s.
It's not an AR-15 or a shotgun.
R9.
I said in the Discord, AR-15 is like the Kleenex of
the Kleenex, yeah.
guns, because it's like, does it look like a rifle? It must be an AR-15.
If you're trying to
You
get
pass me that AR-15, I gotta blow my nose.
And the only place is here, and they're getting robbed all the time. I mean, I support the owner.
Neil Patel is the manager of this Carco shop.
All right, we get it.
I think you're going to start to see more and more private security firms that are getting propped up here. I'm in the firearms industry currently, and I tell you what, the things that are being purchased makes me believe that there's people trying to outfit private security firms. Now, you're going to get what you pay for. You're not going to get SEAL Team 6 retiree.
So I will say, we have some local gas stations that had a sign on their desk for a while that were hiring security guards, making almost as much as Josh and I were as police officers.
Yeah. Now, you can, when you're going to pay for it, you probably get pretty good security.
Yeah.
If you're willing to pay for it. Because you got to think like somebody that's going to come with not just the pedigree, but the resume to sit there and say, hey, I have good references from good places, reputable places that'll say that I can handle myself and I'm a respectable person. And you interview them and they're not some like PTSD'd out junkie.
Right.
You got to think, what is security? What's law enforcement really and truly? It's hired violence is really what it is. You do not want to be the victim of something. And really the big things, theft, assault, burglary, so on and so forth. And the only way in the entire existence of mankind and humankind is with violence. Even cybercrime. Like, I am not just finding you and figuring out and trying to get you to pay it back. I'm going to seize you from this world because that's the only way, and put you in a jail cell because the only way I can keep you off the internet. Like, true. It's a wide, and like that's really and truly what you're paying for. Do I think the state, as in law enforcement, offers the best solution every single time? No. We can't. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. Would you rather, as an individual, hire someone you know, trust, and have personally vetted, or do you want to trust an old lady in the golf cart to be the person that's qualifying these people as? And I'll tell you this, it's a mixed bag in law enforcement. We wouldn't have a show here if it wasn't the mixed bag. There are some incredible law enforcement officers in the same way that there's incredible. If you had to compare, we are just like every other profession. Juan, what is the ratio of good to bad photographers that are out there?
Oh, there's so many crappy ones. So many.
That's
probably the bad. That's probably, listen, you probably shouldn't have asked me. Ask somebody with like
no.
Ask somebody where like my main competitor is not. Oh yeah, my cousin has a camera.
Sure,
dude. The barrier for entry in photography is different.
He just started
lower, right? So what I'm getting at is that 9 times out of 10, them being sucky at their job isn't that big a deal. Most of the time.
Yeah.
When it's a photographer, you're a little annoyed. When it's a cop, maybe he's really shitty at stopping cars or doing whatever, and he's not going to chase the guy very well or do whatever. But every once in a while, the cost is pretty high. Look at Uvalde or look at whatever. When police officers suck at their job, or when your security sucks at their job, the cost can be potentially really catastrophic for you. So it's I get it. And I get why they don't feel like they can provide some level of safety. Is this better than CHL carriers? Depends, because we've had the whole spectrum of dumbass shoots himself in the bathroom, right?
It's really going to depend on the training.
All the way up to Eli Dickens.
Well, and I have a couple of points because I was thinking about this because as a person who stops at gas stations at 2 a.m. a lot, because that's usually when I'm getting off work from events or whatever, and sometimes in very shady neighborhoods, right? And I watched the rest of the video, which it shows kind of what he was dealing with, which was mainly like vandalism, teenagers being bored, that kind of stuff. I think there's kind of two sides. There are I'm of two minds in this. On the one hand, if I drive up randomly to a gas station at 2 a.m. and there's a dude holding a rifle chilling there, whether he's a security guard or not, I'm probably driving to the next gas station.
Like, clearly, I know I don't need to be getting gas here. Yeah.
However, if I had on my Google Maps it said this gas station offers private armed security, I would probably seek that gas station out. And it's dumb because it could be the exact same gas station, but it's just the perspective of it. And the way I think of it is it's based a lot on essentially like what the studies are on like your typical criminals, not your hardened criminals, not your gangs, not your whatever, but like your bored teenagers who just want to do vandalism because they got nothing better to do. Your shoplifters, your baseline like nuisance criminals, I guess, if you want to call them that. And it's basically like they are going to go after the easiest target, path of least resistance. They are not wanting to get caught. Their biggest deterrent is not the back end of whether or not they're going to go to jail, how much they're going to be punished. It's, am I going to even get caught? That's all they're thinking about. And therefore, if you have a presence there, let's say like an officer type of presence, right? That is a deterrent at the very least. And it's not about, stopping everybody, because obviously a super motivated person will shoot that guy first and then like rob the place blind. But your teenagers with their backpacks that they just want to stuff full of candy bars, they're not going to go there.
Doing that.
They're not bothering. And so like, as a business owner, you got to think about it from, that's all security. It's like, as a business owner, you got to think, is this expense worth the amount of hassle that I'm saving myself and potentially the amount of business that I might be bringing in because my place appears safer.
Yeah.
Versus like if you're you just got off your shift, you're a female, and you just got off of your McDonald's shift or whatever, and you just need gas real quick, and this has an armed security guard, cool. You're probably stopping there versus somewhere else. And like clearly the amount of people that are going to say, well, that's weird, I don't want to be there, is much lower than the amount of people that are probably going to become regulars based off of it.
Yeah.
And so like as a business owner, it seems like a good business decision. I think you'll probably see it happen more. And I also think if it becomes a regular thing where again, it maybe starts being on apps and maybe you start being able to like have a thing where it's regular, then you'll probably see there being money in it to get better training and to actually make it a thing that's worthwhile. I think to start off with, they do have the owner of the company that this guy hired, and he says like, we send him to training every other week, blah, blah, blah. Who knows how true that is, because Dust says the same thing. But yeah. But all I'm saying is like,
there
if
is
it
no
is
difference.
true,
Yeah,
and
there
it's
is no
good, and if you do start getting better training and actual competition in this industry, if there's a demand for good quality security guards, I think for one thing, it could be a good job to have for somebody, especially in these neighborhoods.
Sure.
And it could be a good solution for neighborhoods that are essentially, they could be ignored by police, or like they might just not have the response times. They might not have the funding. They might not have whatever.
So it could be Dallas
as a deterrent. Exactly. South Dallas could use this probably.
So to address Pamela, Alfredo, and Tyler, I agree completely. Most of my experience with private security is
terrible.
Pretty bad.
Terrible.
Most in general.
I think the rifles are overkill because I don't think they're trained to use them properly. That's really it.
I think the rifles are an optics thing more than anything.
It's an optics thing. Yeah.
And that's the thing is like my worry is if they actually have to use them, they're not going to be able to use them properly because they're not properly trained on them. I think
also,
you get the same effect.
A gas station is not a rifle.
It's not a good place for
environment, really. Like
no.
If you can't handle 100 within 25 yards and in with a handgun, are you getting training?
Yeah,
right.
Like really and truly, like, are you getting?
Now I get those are like those are like AR pistols or like.
But even still,
but it's just
I'm with you.
It's an optics thing, I think.
And like I said, if they're worried about getting robbed, give me the rifle.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm with
now,
you on
if
that.
I'm worried about if it's shoplifting, I don't need a handgun.
Open carry handgun.
Sure, all day long.
Yeah.
But if I'm
right by the door,
robbed, like legit, like these guys are going in there and busting up my store, and it's also more than one. Like let's say it's like a gang of people, right?
Yeah.
If I have 5 teenagers at a time coming in, give me the rifle, 110%. But like it's you could for the same. Would it make more sense to have 2 security guards versus one?
I think so. Yeah.
There's a lot of different conversations to be had here, and private property does allow for a lot of this stuff. Again, in Texas, we do have the fuck around and find out clause. For here, you got to be real. It is a big dice roll depending on who you decide to rob here.
Yeah.
But I think specifically in Chicago or in more, we'll say cities that have a hard time with crime. Right? We're just going to say that I truly believe you're going to start to see way more private security because the lawmakers are not doing their job. The system is failing those places. There's too many damn people. There's not enough taxpayer money. There's no incentive for good police officers to go police there. And so what you have is still people with money trying to live their life that can afford private security and to spend money in businesses and stuff like that, but that don't feel safe. And that's why
honestly, a lot of these neighborhoods are prime real estate for having a good business. Your problem is your loss is going to be getting robbed or getting broken into or whatever.
Can you imagine?
If you can prevent that, there's huge opportunity there. Like there's all of the food deserts that we have where grocery stores could open up. Small ones like a Trader Joe's type situation where you could have maybe 1 or 2 or 3 security guards that manage that just to prevent your baseline break-ins and robberies and stuff like that. It would make sense, and you could have a good margin on top of that.
I tell you what, now shrinkage in a normal store, I'm not talking like a crime-ridden store, but in a normal store is typically 2% of your revenue. Think about that. In a store for a fiscal year, what's 2% of your revenue? It's a lot of money. What does it cost you to hire another employee for $80,000? For $80,000 a year plus benefits to full-time security, it's not a bad idea if you can hire the right person. And then is a supermarket the right person to be vetting a person to see who's going to be good at doing that or providing training or whatever?
And that's going to be that's going to be the problem. But again, if a lot of what you need is really just to bring those margins down, then potentially just the visibility is enough.
They
get you enough.
And that is the crux.
And you're just offsetting that. You're offsetting that against the liability of you having a very stupid security guard that, like, I can't remember who said it, shoot somebody because they were being dumb with it. They didn't need to shoot. Like here it is. Bill, you said it. So there you go.
Yeah.
There's a security guard at a bar.
It was on Southside. It was a small bar and they hired outsourced security, and these dudes thought that they were cops. So they wore like outer vests and like hip fucking drop leg holsters, like the whole deal. And there was a assault in the parking lot, and the security guard thought that one of these guys had gone and got a gun and shot him. And luckily he didn't die, but it was a like 16-hour call for me, and it was a shit show from start to finish. So
shout out to Speeds in Arlington. Fuck you guys. Also, rip the PYT lounge. I can talk to you. Don't exist anymore. They had private security that was great.
Let's hope it doesn't exist anymore. I'm not gonna give away the name of the bar that this was at because I'm not trying to dox anything. So shout out to Dallas.
Shout out Dallas.
Dude leaves with no lights. It's music. Would we be pursuing on a car that does not have lights on?
Well, it has lights on now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. I don't know that this is a kosher pursuit or pursuit policy. Oh,
yikes. Oh.
Yeah. That's this one. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
What would happen if a police officer initiates a pursuit with a fleeing vehicle, then that vehicle crashes, and then the officer says, oh well, and he just drops the pursuit and he leaves the scene. He doesn't stop and give first aid. He doesn't call for an ambulance. He just leaves. He just turns the other direction and heads to Dunkin' Donuts. Is that a civil rights violation? The answer to that, in my opinion anyways, might surprise you. It was May of this year.
Who's this guy?
Dallas, Texas.
Is he a lawyer?
Civil rights attorney.
And his trainee,
I don't know.
Is his name Lawrence Chaser? I don't know who this guy is. I'm not gonna talk shit. This is a bad look, boys.
He also didn't leave with his lights off. Just one of his headlights are out.
Yeah. Even the pursuits, pretty sketchy. to be honest.
I like how it says the police car gets left in the dust, basically. He's right behind him.
It's right there. This is close. This is pretty close. Like, I don't even think you'd hear the car if he was laying on the gas. You'd hear, whoa.
Right.
There you go, see?
Apparently, the Dallas Police Department has a pursuit policy that provides for officers not to pursue vehicles unless they're pursuing a subject believed to have committed a violent felony offense.
It's pretty
and
standard.
That appears to have been the case here. As far as I can tell, they were chasing the guy just because he left the gas station.
They weren't chasing him. They were trying to pull him over.
Dash cam footage actually.
You can overtake. There's a difference between a pursuit and trying to overtake.
I don't even think.
He was pretty close behind him.
I was gonna say
so
that wasn't.
You lost all that overtaking the second they left.
Video, officers Anderson and Robertson can be heard talking to each other about the crash they just witnessed. Anderson was driving at the time. Did you see that? Robertson asked. That's his fault, Anderson replied.
Well, we heard it.
But they're not.
Yeah, but he's got to hit that 10-minute YouTube limit for the double ads, Josh.
He's got to do that.
I don't even think they're pursuing at this point. They were really far back.
Yeah. Their lights aren't on. It's still a bad look. Okay, you see the crash, you're gonna call it out.
It's a terrible look. I'm not defending these officers at all.
Yeah,
I'm just saying don't call it a pursuit.
No.
19 seconds later, the same camera captured these police officers, Anderson and
Damn,
Robertson,
19 seconds while driving is a long-ass
site
time.
And promptly make a
they slowed down.
driving away from the scene. Bystanders at the scene saw
Either
what
way,
happened.
19 seconds is a long time.
Yeah.
They witnessed the police car drive away.
I'm sure you tell Kinsey that all the time.
Instead of the police officers attempted to help the
Very
driver
long
who
time.
was now trapped, apparently his car on fire. Eventually, the two officers returned to the scene after other police officers and first responders had already arrived.
Damn,
the crowd
that's a bad
wasn't
look.
happy. They had seen what had happened, and they were telling everyone who would listen about it. And the officers tried to tell them at one point that they didn't see what they actually saw, but they weren't having it.
They had the gall to make scene on this.
Yeah.
Damn. It's probably in the area. That's probably why. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Why aren't these guys making scene? This should be their call. Bro, this is such a bad look. Damn. Oh, that's a
Look at
legit
that car,
fire.
dude.
Oh, damn. Wonder where in Dallas this is.
I don't know.
I'm looking for landmarks.
Yeah, same. I don't recognize anything. Gotta be where I don't go.
Ah, damn it.
There was a
Missed
road
it.
sign, but I couldn't tell what it said.
Yeah, it's gonna be too blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no
you
idea.
can't see it.
Oh, maybe there. Oh, like the very last. That's not worth it.
I'll try off stream.
Yeah.
The guy die?
I don't know.
I agree. It's super fucked up. If you see a crash,
It is.
you're working the crash. That's super fucked up.
Man.
I don't know where this falls under duty to intervene, but like, because you don't take the Hippocratic Oath as a law enforcement officer. But you do have, I think you have a duty to intervene. At least morally, you have a duty to intervene, dude. It's at Juan's house, of course. It said Martin Luther King. Hey, what's going on,
I don't
Shane?
think it did. I think that's a joke. Because our Martin Luther King Boulevard is Deep Ellum, I believe.
Do you think he's far up?
This is not Deep Ellum.
This ain't Deep Ellum. No, I'm
You're
pretty
right.
sure that's where it is. Yeah.
This looks like industrial, like.
Yeah,
offices and
this
stuff.
has got to be somewhere South Dallas. Let me see.
This looks a lot more like South Dallas.
I literally said I was just by myself and I wrecked out. I wasn't being chased by no.
Let me see. Maybe it does go that far down.
That's what made him run into the damn thing, man.
Oh no!
Oh, so the guy said the guy verbally was like,
Yeah.
"He's chasing me." Interesting. Well, he doesn't want to get in trouble for
Exactly.
He's got
Oh,
Fifth
you know what?
Amendment, right?
It might be. No, that's Malcolm X. Oh no, it might be. It might be.
What?
No, it's so.
What?
Here's the thing: Malcolm X and Martin Luther King intersect each other in South Dallas.
They make it.
But they also like Malcolm X goes all the way to Deep Ellum. Martin Luther King doesn't. I was thinking Malcolm X. So this could be Martin Luther King Boulevard.
God bless these guys. Still doing it in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
God bless them.
Yeah, this might be right by Fair Park.
Afterwards, the chief of the Dallas Police Department said that he was appalled by the officers' actions here, and he commended the civilians held as many harm caused by.
I hate lawyers.
But generally see, but this one through incarceration,
especially
applies here
these
in
guys.
Texas.
Yeah,
handcuffs on the
cool dude. Good story. Go try and make some money off of it, of course.
Sure, 100%. And if he can't,
yeah,
somehow their civil rights don't matter when they can't make money.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. All those civil rights violations suddenly don't matter if they don't make you any money.
Sorry, there's no money there.
Yeah, you're such a hero, guy. Anyways,
Arkansas State Trooper. Oh shit! You know what we're gonna rate? We're gonna chant here. Pick that car.
Yeah. Oh, those two officers got put on leave, by the way.
They weren't canned?
They should definitely be fired.
They're not
Probably.
canned?
Yeah.
It's Dallas. They don't have enough bodies.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, it's Dallas. They can't lose anybody else.
They really can't afford to lose people.
They got a manpower clause on there.
Yeah. It's called, we have 20,000 pure officers that we need.
38.
Ooh, slow down, boy.
Oh, damn, look at him. That's one way to exit the vehicle, damn.
You looked at him like, you asshole.
Yeah, man, I'll try to stop you. I'm good, I'm good. Shit. Anybody else in the car? All right. Get up.
Wow. Josh, did you see the guy roll out of the car?
Yeah, dude.
Holy crap.
Bro.
Holy crap.
Bro.
Old buddy couldn't handle the Camaro and hit the guardrail, though, so sucks to suck.
What a bad day, dude.
To be fair, we drove a few cars that I don't think would stop in time either.
I feel like, but you would have known that pretty soon. When you start driving it, you like, I would take at least like a minute or two to give it like a good hard like 80% braking like pressure. Every car I drove, because you had some that were very poorly maintained. Oh, you fucked up.
Rigged out, rigged out, rigged out.
38.
Oh, it ran over his foot.
Put him up. On the ground, 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 on the
Of
ground.
course it's a Charger.
On the ground. Hands behind.
Shout out to Dodge.
I wasn't for sure. I wasn't going to say it's a Charger, but I was fairly certain.
Feeling it.
Anybody else in the car? No. All right. Get up, get up, get up, get up. You good? You good?
He goes, I don't know, man.
We'll start at 10, 16. Come on, come on. No, you ain't getting up. You ain't getting up. I'm wrecked out, Star. Hey,
He's like that.
get over here. Get over. Hey, well, you running like you're stupid.
Bro.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Out here risking everybody's life in danger, bro. What's wrong with you? That's stupid. That's ain't no because nothing. That's stupid.
I never gave lectures like this.
Okay, yeah, I know it's okay.
That's good advice, Juan. Southlake would be a great department.
Southlake is a great department.
You'd still have some bullshit.
Their food sucks, but like there's enough good food close by that it doesn't matter.
The only thing that would really suck is all the rich people that you would pull over while drunk. So that's why Southlake would be off my radar.
Yeah,
but
you'd be a DWI working machine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we get the gist of this.
Poor guy, dude.
Understand your equipment.
Yep. And
You know what? Actually, I wouldn't necessarily recommend Southlake because I think they're starting to do more like music venues and stuff like that and big restaurants. It's gonna start turning into Arlington.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Or like North Dallas, like they're North Dallas, like McKinney and like Allen and those places.
Bro,
Melissa,
honestly,
Texas or something.
I would do Johnson County or Parker County.
I was literally going to say those two counties. That's the way to do
that's
it.
what I would
cities there, I would do it.
Yeah, because you get to work small towns. You're going to get a little bit of everything, but you're not going to get like overly burnt out on crazy violent shit.
Yeah.
So
Coppell's not a bad idea. There's too much residential there for them to do anything. There ain't nothing there.
Yeah.
But houses. You'll work domestics.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Houses,
See, that's why I would rather not work in a city again.
Dude, domestics.
The incident began about.
So, officer shoots armed suspect after trying to break into an apartment with a woman and a child outside. Those are the worst. Those are worse.
There's no such thing as a bougie domestic.
No, there is. I work Southside, buddy. There's bougie domestics.
True. I didn't have bougie domestics.
There are bougie, and they are the worst because you're dealing with two very entitled people who get very petty and call for very stupid reasons.
Yeah.
And somehow they both end up being wrong in the end. But you know how domestics went with us. So
yeah, that's true.
But here's our last video.
About 10:30 p.m. when an officer contacted a man near a dumpster in the 1000 block of West Morrison Avenue. The man displayed two knives.
6'9", when I come flying, we're going to be at the near trash cans. He has a knife. He's coming towards me.
The officer requested backup and the man walked away. The man was then stopped by several other officers. After being told more than 20 times to drop the weapons, the man takes 5 steps towards the officers.
Big knives.
That's when an officer fired a less than lethal projectile, hitting the man near his stomach.
You know that hurt.
Oh, that hurt a lot.
You know that hurt. This is not a dog situation.
Officers continued
not with two knives.
to try and convince him to drop the weapon.
Dual wielding,
After
bro.
firing one additional
I just keep
beanbag
hitting
round,
them with those things.
the man threw a weapon at officers.
He gets a
hitting the
penalty to
police
his
car and
offhand,
nearly
though. So.
striking the officers.
Oh, he threw it away.
The man then
He
ran
knew.
toward a
He tried to throw it at
You get
them,
extra
but it just
attacks,
like
you get a
wall
penalty.
of an
Yeah.
apartment occupied by a woman
With hella
and her young
unbalanced,
daughter.
like a kitchen knife.
Yeah.
The woman, now
And
inside
like it
the
didn't even do
apartment
the
with her
spinny
young
or anything.
daughter,
It was
called
just
911.
just fell.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
731 Southwest Avenue, apartment. I have my house surrounded by police.
Yes, ma'am. We were trying to reach someone that lives there. We didn't have any other recent contacts with you there. You need to stay sheltered in place. We have someone that's up against the wall there,
Dispatch
and you need
is
to
the
stay
worst.
inside.
I am. I'm in my bathroom, and I have a gun registered to me, so if this guy comes
Okay, you don't. Okay, do you have all your doors and windows locked?
Yes. And like I said, I do have a registered gun, so if he tries to come into my house, then I'm going to...
Okay, ma'am.
Hey.
We have officers there. Please don't fire.
Yeah, but if he tries to come into my house,
Yeah.
Game
over.
Yeah.
Game over.
with it.
In an attempt to de-escalate the situation and persuade the man to drop the knife and surrender peacefully, officers and a hostage negotiator talked with the man for more than 90 minutes.
Honestly, if she let a shot ring out from the inside of the apartment, they'd just shoot him.
Oh my God.
During the standoff, the man glanced over the wall and yelled at officers.
Maybe that's what she meant
Officers
by
deployed
don't
a drone
fire.
to see what he was doing on the balcony.
Hey, check this out.
A police officer monitoring the
drone.
video feed from the drone saw the man put a knife on the ground.
The knife is on the ground next to him. Deploy.
Now, more than 90 minutes into the negotiation, police decided to take
Look at him
advantage
staring
of
at
the
the drone.
situation.
I would
That's
the
when they
fuck out of
fired
that guy.
less lethal pepperball rounds.
Or CS
The
it the
man
whole
in an
nine.
attempt
Yeah.
to end the situation.
That Axon taser drone.
Watch as the man begins throwing objects at the police, including bikes
This
and
is like
chairs.
its one ideal scenario.
Yep. Dude, CS the whole 9, dude. Yeah.
There you go.
Dude, the amount
Nice.
of CS. Oh.
Still possessing the knife, he attempts to open the front door.
Is he gonna
He will
get
take a
2-8?
large reddish board and
Yeah,
smash
he might
the
get
window of the
2-8 here, my
apartment
dude.
in an attempt to enter the apartment where the woman and child were sheltering in place. And that's when the officer-involved shooting occurred.
Was effective? The Mark that off on the
quickly made their
effective
way up to
term.
the second-floor landing to disarm the suspect and move the mother and her daughter to a safe location.
Hurry.
Officers attempted to bring her
They're all
aid.
flinching because of the
However, the
CS.
suspect succumbed to his injuries.
Rough.
The subject's motivation and to what
Bro,
extent
go put your
drugs or
dog in the
alcohol
car.
may have
Oh
played
yeah,
into
what's
his
the
why
dog
is he
doing there?
there?
What's he for?
I can't stand
Also,
canines.
why is your drone just chilling on the ground for that matter? Take that out of there too. You're all gonna step on it.
These canine officers, dude.
They're wild.
Like, part of me wants to go back to policing just so I can fucking teach these dumbasses how to use a canine.
Why are you risking the animal? I don't understand it. Hey man, don't protect yourself with the gun you bought for yourself.
Dude, they didn't even turn off the drone, and if that thing
Schmang,
kicks
I
back
get it.
on and the blades start going and they cut off somebody's leg,
Could you imagine?
for what? Just
Like-
freaking go push the button on the top. It's not hard. See, I can contribute to these streams too.
There it
You
is.
always do.
You've
I
flown
know
a
some
drone.
stuff.
You've flown a drone.
I have that exact drone.
You do.
Yeah. Like it's literally a button on that. Like turn off your controller and you turn off the thing. That way you don't accidentally turn it back on while your officers are stepping right by it and the poor dog that doesn't know any better.
Takeaways from today. There are still some good cops out there, absolutely crushing it at the job. There's also not.
It's very true.
Know the limitations of not just yourself but your equipment. Bro, fuck around and find out. That is the rule of the day, man. I'd be interested to see, like I said, where private security ends up going. I think you will start to see it's a hard life, dude, to recruit for law enforcement right now. And I don't see that changing, to be honest, anytime soon. I know there's a lot of good young men and women that are wanting to go and do the profession. I think they're going to find out pretty quickly that there are some short sticks out there that people are going to have to draw. And I don't know. I'd be curious to see if like state statutes and legal precedences for you're going to see everyone that lives in a stand your ground clause feel like there's nothing wrong like with the world, and everybody that's kind of at the mercy of robberies, burglaries, whatever are going to have to start dealing with going from kind of crappy cops to like really roll of the dice security guards.
Yeah.
As far as the people responsible for their protection. So it's not a very enviable situation to be in. Cops were already kind of a mixed bag. Private security is going to be way worse because there's just no standard.
Well, also, cops now are even more of a mixed bag because they keep lowering standards.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like it's the kind of the reason why you get what you pay for, and when that is applied to policing or security, like that's a bad day.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just be careful out there for everyone that's out there. Pamela, it was good to see you.
Also, if you are in your stand your ground state and you do want to stand your ground, make sure you get good training and you practice.
There it is.
Because we also don't need a bunch of dummies that just decide to go get a gun and leave it in their closet and never practice with it, like me.
We'll amend that. We'll take you. We gotta go take a.
Josh told me he's gonna take me shooting for like the last 3 months, and he hasn't. So
I've taken like 3 or 4 people shooting.
I know, and you didn't take me. We had a whole weekend plan and everything, and then your wife didn't want to go. She wanted to do something else, and now it's true.
It's weird because
it was going to be a whole double date thing. It was all.
It's weird because Josh and I went shooting last weekend.
Damn. And I'm like, what, 17 minutes from the gun range that you have like executive access to now? Yeah, dude, it's an easy.
I think you were.
Right
I think you were working though. Pretty sure
you were working the day we went.
Probably.
Well, it was Friday.
That's true. Yeah, that was that Saturday. Okay.
We went on Friday.
I was also working on Friday.
We'll amend this.
It is December. I'm not going to get mad about December, but I am mad about November.
Admin, why do people not want to join us? Anyways, go get training. I think it's important. Take onus of your communities. Vote. Talk to your state representatives. Society's only as good or as bad as you let it be as participants in society. If you want more transparency from the federal government, ask for it. Maybe they'll give it to us. We don't know. We pay them a lot of money. We should.
Yeah. Go outside, touch grass, stay off of social media aside from these streams.
Touch some grass, dude. I live. Yeah, it's good for you. I'm going to be hanging out in the after party for a little while for you guys. I'm going to give you guys probably about an hour. So for those of you that are interested, you can join for as little as $1 a month our Patreon group. Our Patreon group gives you direct access to our Discord. Our Discord is where we organize stuff. I do after party streams. It's how we decide who's going to play with us on Tactical Tuesdays and what stories we cover on our Educational Thursdays. It's also probably where we're going to start. If we're going to start doing potential giveaways, we're going to be doing it within that group because that's the group that supports us. So why wouldn't we support them? If you guys like this kind of content, go ahead and share it, like it, do all of the algorithm-based things. And then if you guys have any suggestions for stuff you'd like us to cover that is not Tactical Tuesday or Thursday, let us know. Shows, TV shows, stuff like that, gear that you want us to review. We should be getting back into the recording phase of making produced content, so stay tuned for that stuff. And I don't have anything else, I don't think. Pamela, get us contact information, and Christian Halsey, I'm going to message you.
Yeah, we're sending y'all some swag.
We're sending you guys some swag, so until next time. Peace. I'll do the little zoom in.
Yeah, whatever. We stopped doing that.
There it is.
Because Bill left us, so it felt wrong.
Wow. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, but
That's the worst training ever.
It's difficult to do on my